We all love Jenna Ortega's portrayal of Wednesday in the Netflix series, but what if I told you Wednesday Addams actually has a very deep history? From being the inspiration for several modern Gothic fashion, to Christina Ricci, who played Wednesday in the 90s film, actually saving the movie, here is a complete history of Wednesday Addams. Like the rest of the Addams, Wednesday first appeared in Charles Addams' 1930s comics, where she was drawn as a young girl with black hair, pigtails, a long black dress, and a love for le macabre, often being shown running around the family home, getting up to mischief with her brother Pugsley, and doing some kooky things like dreaming about becoming a werewolf. I guess that's foreshadowing. However, in these early days, none of the Addams family members actually had names, except for technically Thing, which I discussed in my last video if you want to check that out after this. The whole family wouldn't receive names until the 1960s show, where Charles Addams himself would suggest names like Gomez, Morticia, and of course, Wednesday. Addams got the suggestion of Wednesday from a woman he met at a party who suggested the youngest child be named Will Wednesday, from the old nursery rhyme, Monday's child is full of woe.
Her name comes from a line from my favorite nursery rhyme. Wednesday's child is full of woe.
Which is supposed to predict how a child will behave later in life, based off of the day they were born. Although, Wednesday was actually born on Friday the 13th.
Wednesday is certainly a unique name. I'm guessing it was the day of the week you were born.
I was born on Friday the 13th.
Which is really funny, because her middle name is also Friday.
Wednesday's her name.
Oh, and I suppose you're going to tell me her middle name is Thursday, huh?
Friday.
Yes, her name is Wednesday Friday Addams. Once all the characters were named and it was time to cast the part of Wednesday, the role went to 6-year-old actor Lisa Loring, who played Wednesday from 1964 through 1966, and later reprised her role in 1977 at 18 in the made-for-TV movie Halloween with the New Addams Family, which was a fine movie, though I prefer the show. Now, if you were listening when I talked about Wednesday's name, you might have been confused on why I called Wednesday the youngest sibling. This is because, unlike modern day, back in the 1960s show, Wednesday was actually the youngest child, though she still loved her spiders and headless dolls.
Pugsley's very handy.
Fixed it. That doll doesn't have a head.
It's Marie Antoinette. Grandmama told us about the French Revolution, and Pugsley chopped off her head.
In fact, for most of Wednesday's history, she was a younger sibling, even appearing as the younger sibling in the 1972 Scooby-Doo episode called Wednesday is Missing, and the 1973 cartoon by Hanna-Barbera, where she was voiced by Sidney Henderson. But unlike the previous incarnations of Wednesday, this one had one small yet terrifying difference. Instead of her traditional black dress, this version wore pink. I mean, really, pink? That is so not Addams. Wednesday would never wear pink. Although part of me does wonder if the 2019 film had her in pink briefly to make fun of that. Luckily, this would be fixed in the 1991 Addams Family movie called The Addams Family, where 11-year-old actor Christina Ricci would take on the iconic role, bringing a far darker twist to the character. In fact, she's the one who gave us loads of iconic Wednesday quirks we have today, like abusing Pugsley and finally being the older sibling. But that isn't all Ricci did for the franchise, because she even saved the ending of the first movie. For those of you who don't know, in the film, there was a debate on whether or not Uncle Fester is an imposter. In the original script, Uncle Fester was actually supposed to be an imposter, leaving the whereabouts of the real Uncle Fester completely unknown. However, no one in the cast thought that was a very satisfying ending, so they instructed Ricci to convince the director to change the ending of the film, so the fake Uncle Fester would turn out to be the real Uncle Fester. And you know what? It actually worked. They changed it, giving the story a much better emotional payoff. And it's good that it did, because the Addams Family would become a major hit. So they would come out with another one in 1993 called Addams Family Values, where Christina Ricci would reprise her role as Wednesday, with even more great one-liners and comebacks.
I'll be the victim.
all your life.
In between the two films, there was another animated series which aired on September 12, 1992, and lasted till November 6, 1993, which gave Wednesday, voiced by Debbie Dewberry, back her iconic black dress, though to me it looks a little bit more blue than black. After that, Wednesday was played by Nicole Fugere. I might have said that wrong, names are really hard sometimes, in 1998's The Addams Family Reunion, and 1998 through 1999's The New Addams Family series, giving us a cheesier version of Wednesday, though this wasn't due to the acting, it was more due to the writing. However, one version that definitely wasn't cheesy was 2010's Broadway musical of The Addams Family, where Wednesday is now 18 and played by Christina Rodriguez, as she navigates introducing her family to her new fiancé, Lucas. And when I tell you this musical is amazing, I mean it. This is legit one of my favorite musicals and is definitely deserving of a listen to. Next is 2019, where Wednesday is shown as having pale white skin, a long black dress, and pigtails, but the pigtails in this movie are shaped like little nooses, which is actually a pretty cute detail. Now, in this movie, Wednesday is voiced by actor Chloe Grace Moretz, and Wednesday is given center stage in this film. Well, in both films, really, both in the 2019 and 2021 film. The 2019 film follows Wednesday as she seeks to see what's beyond the family home, and while she explores, she makes friends with a girl named Parker, but also starts to act a bit strangely. And in the 2021 film, Wednesday and the rest of the Addams family go on a road trip as they try to get away from a scientist who is convinced that Wednesday might not actually be an Addams after all. But the scientist thinks that she might actually be his long-lost daughter. Spoiler alert. Wednesday is actually Gomez and Morticia's daughter in this movie. 2022's Wednesday would continue with the trend of making Wednesday front and center, although this time she becomes a full-on main character. In the series called Wednesday, she is played by Jenna Ortega, but Jenna isn't the only Wednesday in the series, Wednesday, because Christina Ricci, who played Wednesday in the 90s film, is also there as the teacher named Miss Thornhill. This series gives us more depth to her character, and also allows us to see a different side of Wednesday, and see some of her talents, like writing, archery, and fencing. We even get to see her make friends with her roommate Enid, played by Emma Myers, and cry a few times and show some emotion, all while trying to solve several mysteries at her school, Nevermore Academy. And that's where we are today in the history of Wednesday Addams. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like what you saw, please go ahead and like and subscribe, along with subscribing to my Patreon if you like, because it really does help me out so I can continue to make these awesome videos for you. And if you want to watch more videos about the Addams family, or autism, or the workplace, click on one of the boxes on your screen now. Until next time, goodbye.